So I know that everyone is making fun of the Xbox Series X PC-like design, but the more I look at it, honestly, the more I'm coming around to it. But in the end, wherever the RPGs go, that's where I go. What do you think about the Xbox Series X design? Hey guys, it's Rob here and welcome back to the Robo show where we cover the latest gaming news. If you want to be kept up on the latest gaming news, click that subscribe button and have that notification bell on so you know when I upload the Robo show. So the Xbox Series X, there are so many questions that need answering from Xbox and Microsoft. Like, what about the Xbox Series X specs? What about the price for the Xbox Series X? Hell, what about the Xbox Series X games? Because let's be honest, we want to see more of these next gen games because that little itty bitty taste that we got at the Game Awards was just not enough. We need more. We need more next gen games. So first off, let's take a look at just how much the Xbox Series X is going to drain your wallet for all the hard-earned cash that you've earned, because let's be honest, the next gen comes and we're going to be low on cash after we buy the Xbox Series X or the PS5. Now, the price of the Xbox Series X is very important. I mean, no one is going to pay too much for this Xbox Series X because let's be honest, not all of us are making billions of dollars out there, and plus, bills are a thing, so Microsoft needs to be careful and not make a oopsie and make the Xbox Series X too expensive, because then the Xbox Series X will be too expensive, and that'll be just like what they did with the Xbox One launch with the overpriced Xbox. Now, we haven't gotten the exact price for the Xbox Series X, but we have gotten some words from Phil Spencer about the price. Phil Spencer said this when speaking to The Verge. "I would say learning from the Xbox One generation is we will not be out of position in power or price." Now, you may be thinking right now, well, that doesn't give us the exact price, Rob, and to that I say, well, sit back, relax, and listen to this. You see, the PS5 has been getting rumors of a $499 price tag. Some of the bigwigs over at Sony also promised that the PS5 will be affordable. The important thing here is the rumored price that keeps popping up over and over and over again. If there's one thing I've learned from covering rumors, it's that when things keep popping up, 9 times out of 10 it's probably true. Now, usually in most cases, this wouldn't matter to the Xbox Series X price, but Phil Spencer said they won't be pricing the Xbox Series X over the PS5, which makes me believe that the price for the Xbox Series X will be $499. But, that's just a guess, so take it with a grain of salt. But enough about the price, because I think by now we've heard enough about how much money this Nintendo Wii wannabe is going to cost us. Now it's time for what you all came for, what we all want and what we all need, and that's it, you guessed it, the Xbox Series X games. What games are we going to be playing on this cinder block of a console? Because that's why we buy these gaming PCs, consoles, and handhelds, for the games. At least that's what I've been doing. Who knows, maybe some of you guys use it for, cooking hamburgers or something. So at the Game Awards 2019, we got the reveal for the Xbox Series X and Hellblade 2, and man, does that game look amazing. Now, the trailer said everything we saw in that trailer was in-engine, so this makes me think that the actual Hellblade 2 gameplay is gonna be the bee's knees. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna blow your mind. If that's what the cinematics look like, the actual gameplay is just gonna look amazing. Other than Hellblade 2, there are other games that we could see, like Final Fantasy 14. It was announced that they were working on it for the PS5, so in most cases, it's gonna come to the Xbox Series X too. Dying Light 2 is another game that's confirmed for the PS5, so I don't think it won't come to the Xbox Series X, because let's be honest, that would be incredibly dumb. Now, another game that could make its way that will be part of the wallet draining of 2020 is of course Cyberpunk 2077. If you didn't know, the Cyberpunk 2077 PR team have said that they're bringing this amazing sci-fi looking shooter that we all dream of playing every night is possible. I mean, they got Witcher on the Nintendo Switch, so I don't see why this wouldn't be coming to the Xbox Series X eventually. If not at launch, probably somewhere later down the line. You also gotta factor in Game Pass, xCloud, and of course the backwards compatibility with the previous games. All these different ways of playing Xbox games on the Xbox One X, and of course third-party games too, will surely make its way to the Xbox Series X in 2020 with added features that'll probably make the game run better and look better, just like we saw with the original Xbox games making their way to the Xbox One. Now, of course, you can also go into some speculation and guess what other games we could see. There's the obvious yearly or bi-yearly franchise like Halo, Gears of War, and third-party games like FIFA, Call of Duty, and more. You also gotta factor into the new studios that Microsoft acquired too. There's no doubt in my mind that they are working on some insane next-gen games for the Xbox Series X. At at launch and beyond. Microsoft may have done pretty crappy this gen, but it looks like they're setting up for one hell of a fight in the next gen. So we talked about some games, we talked about the price, let's talk about the specs. What kind of Xbox Series X graphics are we going to experience when it comes to the next gen with the new Xbox? As you can tell from the Hellblade 2 trailer, there are some pretty fancy things going on in the trailer. According to Xbox, they really want to hit that 4K 60 FPS mark with the Xbox Series X, something that PC players have been playing around with for a very long time and even beyond that. The Xbox One has been hitting that with some games, and the PS4 is kind of lagging behind in terms of that kind of power. Ray tracing will also be added in this new world of next-gen games, which will make the worlds look and feel more realistic. Now, to my knowledge, this helps a lot with the lighting, reflect against the environment to make it more realistic. According to some leaks over at Windows Central, it's going to be 12 teraflops of power, or to put it in simple terms, it's going to be twice the power of Xbox One X. A huge leap ahead of pretty much anything out there, console-wise, and definitely more stronger than what we started with in the beginning of this gen. Now, as for the exact specs or what we can possibly expect, here's a list that I'm going to go through for those who love to hear this kind of thing. It's going to be for the Xbox Series X. 4K at 60 FPS, possibility of 120 FPS, 8K capability. Now this is most likely only for movies and DVDs and Blu-rays. Variable refresh rate support, AMD processor, Zen 2, and next generation RDNA architecture, hardware accelerated ray tracing, variable rate shading technology, next generation SSD, which is where that fast loading comes into play, auto latency mode, dynamic latency input, backwards compatibility with all Xbox One games and accessories. Now, of course, we can't talk about the console without talking about the controller, and we haven't really got too much on that in the first place, aside from the first look that we got at the Game Awards with the Xbox Series X. Of course, it showed the controller too. Now, the Xbox Series X controller at first glance can look like the same exact controller from the Xbox One and the Xbox 360 and all those kind of controllers, but you can tell that this controller looks more high quality than your average controller. The thumbsticks have grip on them, which is great. There seems to be a share button in the middle, and of course the D-pad is inverted like the Xbox Elite controller. If you notice, the back triggers also have grips on them too. Now, whether or not it takes batteries, we really don't know, but I would think Xbox isn't stupid enough to actually do that again, but I honestly could be wrong about that. Now, one thing that people seem to have a huge problem with is the Xbox Series X size. As you can see, there is a disc drive on the Xbox Series X, so we can assume that it takes a standard Blu-ray disc, which are about 4.7 inches long. The slot for the disc seems to be a little bit longer than that, so we can round that up to about, I'd say, 5 inches. Times that by 2 and we get 10 inches, which the rest of the height probably looks about half of that, so we'll say about 12 inches in height and 6 inches across. Maybe a little bit less than that. You can pretty much get a general idea if you take an average ruler and stand it up. That's about as high as it's gonna get. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, but that's about the average height that the Xbox Series X is gonna be, which is slightly bigger than the PS4, the base PS4 actually standing up. And of course, now for those VR lovers, because let's be honest, they are out there. They may be few in number, but they are. And unfortunately, it looks like Xbox has no plans for VR. They think no one is asking for such a thing. Now, does that mean Xbox is not going to jump on the VR train like Sony? Probably not. Let's all be honest. Once this VR train hits off, if there's huge money in it, Microsoft won't ignore it. That's what these companies are here for. They're not here to make the fans happy like some think. They are here to make the investors happy. And what do investors love? They love money, green moolah. They love to have a lot of money. So if VR is making a lot of money, Microsoft will surely go to that market and make money there. But for now, Xbox has no plans for VR. But you know, they could be lying. Sometimes companies do that. They could have some kind of plan for VR or building plans for the next gen VR with the Xbox Series X. You never know, but according to Xbox, they say they have no plans. And now let's talk about the design, the PC-like design that a lot of people are pretty much laughing at. In my humble opinion, I think it looks just like a bigger Wii. I think the design is sleek, simple, and I kind of like it, but I want to see it in person. For the most part, I personally don't care about the design of the console. The thing could look like the Game Sphere from Drake and Josh, and I honestly would not care. Now, recently, there has been some interesting Xbox Series X news that has come out. In an interview with GameSpot, one of the directors of the Xbox management team, Jason Ronald, had this to say. Today we have the capability of instantly resuming the last game that you were playing. Why can't we do that for multiple games? Many players choose to play multiple games at the same time, being able to instantly jump back and forth to where I was. Those are the things that we can do with the platform level to make the gaming experience better. Now, this is pretty cool. We can already do this with the current consoles with with, say, a Netflix and Destiny 2. This would allow you to have 2 or more games open instead of just one game and one other media platform. This would be pretty cool for people who are maybe waiting for their friends to come back from maybe the store or eating or something. They can switch to Hellblade 2, and then when their friends come back, they can switch over to, say, a multiplayer game that you guys are playing together, like Overwatch. So this is actually pretty exciting. I can't wait to get my hands on the next gen, and seeing the next gen, the actual console in picture form, is really exciting. It means that things are really starting to ramp up, and now we just gotta wait for Sony to show the PS5 and see what that looks like. This is all the information that we know about the Xbox Series X rumors and speculation. If I missed anything, tell me in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and have that notification bell on if you want more of these videos. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.